This is a Headgum original.
What's that? Oh, it's like cathartic for me to do this show. I mean, just with how painful and boring my life in between the episode records is. To me, once I get here, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, thank God. Finally, I can breathe some life into my fucking gullet.
Why is your life boring?
What's
does that include? Does that include being in a feature film?
I mean,
on a feature film set?
That was pulling teeth to everyone involved. Casey, I feel like most of all, was really angry on set. Casey was really
I want the listener
angry
to know
on set.
everything Geoff is going to say about the movie, believe the opposite.
Well, and there is a lot of material on the movie because you've been gone for a bit. You did say to me on set that you hadn't even been at Headgum for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So this is going to be kind of your rude awakening, kind of your rude welcoming back party. In fact, the title of the episode might be Casey's Welcome Back Party. So please welcome back Casey Donahue. What's that?
Wow, thanks. Thank
I've
you,
been
everybody.
gone for a while, right?
What?
Yeah, but that was because of the fucking, what was it?
Oh,
The
yeah,
stunt.
the stunt.
We're going to get to that too. You guys are already predicting the shit. Who needs
Maybe it
AI
should be
predictive
called
text?
Welcome Marika's Stent episode.
Maybe. We'll workshop it. We'll
The
figure it out.
episode is called Casey's Welcome Back Party. will
Marika's
get
Welcome
to-
Stent Party.
Stent, it was a lobotomy.
She wishes.
You know
I
what?
do
That's
wish.
the episode title. Marika's lobotomy reveal.
Yeah, throw up the x-rays and just a big X for what we took off.
Marika,
Out.
do I have your permission to throw up these x-rays?
Yeah, the ones I sent you are fine. There's no
that
additional.
implies the existence of some x-rays that aren't fine.
Yeah.
Well, just like the
Locked and loaded. There
What
he
I
is.
don't love is that this is the second X-ray screening on this on this show. The first one was my MRI 2 years ago.
It's so funny that it's all kind of head and brain related. No correlation, I'm sure.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
And then Marika, can you go ahead and explain what the fuck this is, just for the for the audio listeners as well?
This is my noggin. This is like the back.
By the way, they might not even know what we're talking about. Marika just had a surgery about 2 weeks ago, so let's hear about it.
Yeah. Well, as you very well know, and maybe I brought it up, I have had. I've just heard my pulse in my ear for the past 3 years.
Tinnitus,
Yeah. And I was really, when you look up pulsatile tinnitus, it's like, oh, you probably have an aneurysm and you're going to die. So I was just kind of
Sure.
ignoring that for a while, and then eventually went back to the doctor. And-
Ladies, she's avoidant. She's the cool one.
I thought you were going to do a
Yeah.
joke about how she put it kind of in the back of her mind. Because
I
that's
mean,
like
that's pretty
that's where the
really
stent
good.
is.
Grace, can you just sort of take Anya's shit, run it through an AI generator so I said it and put it in my lips?
And anyway, so what we found out was that my vein in my head was severely narrowed. The main vein that takes blood from my brain to the rest of my body sort of like empties out my brain, narrow as can be. The pressure
That's a
Thin in
Jeffrey
her
James
main vein.
diagnosis.
It's
yeah,
thin
thank
in
you.
her brain.
Yeah.
So in this photo, what you see here is that they had to insert a balloon in my vein. So that's that big gray area the size of a finger, I guess.
This is one of
Wait,
those
but
rare
tell them what-
instances where, sorry, Anya, I was
That's
trying
no
to speak
problem.
on my own show.
And that's no problem.
This is one of those rare instances where the gray area actually is crystal clear and there's no room for interpretation because, yes, it's a gray area, but we know exactly what's happening there. There's a fucking condom inside that they're.
It does look like a a balloon animal that hasn't been blown up yet. But didn't you have a thing? Didn't they tell you like it's supposed to be the size of this, and it was actually the size of this? I thought that was funny.
No, that was my meeting with my urologist. Got me.
They did. They were like, normally this vein is like the size of a finger. Yours, if we go in and measure the pressure and it hurts, or you like feel some pressure behind your ear, that means it's smaller than a hair, which ultimately it was.
So funny.
Spoiler alert. It was.
Smaller than a hair.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
And apparently it got worse in the like 3 weeks that I had since I had that measured.
What could be
That's
smaller?
awful.
Like it's like cellular.
Yeah. So they had to go and they had to blow it up with the balloon. Then they had to put in the stent, which is, you can't really see it here, but it's like this mesh sort of net looking thing.
Some of the worst words possible are you.
So now I just have like mesh
Unless you're like a fisherman.
in
Awesome words.
in
For
my
them.
vein.
Okay, Boston.
And yeah, so that's what that is.
So are you? Yeah.
Are you okay?
Are you? Well, it's only funny because we know that Marika is not only okay, but your pulsatile tinnitus has
But
gone
Casey
away.
hasn't been here, so he's
Yeah.
I've been
checking
here.
in.
You don't hear me laughing. I'm worried about my friend Marika.
Casey's
Well, that's 'cause you don't-
sitting on the
yeah.
edge of his seat because he doesn't know.
I'm worried about my friend Marika. But we know that she's fine because we asked her weeks ago.
Right.
So you're actually an asshole.
Right.
I was directing a movie.
Yeah, Casey just got a text from me randomly out of nowhere that was like, "I lived, bitch," and everyone else kind of knew what was going on, but Casey was like, "You were gonna die." Yeah, I'm fine. It was short. The tinnitus instantly gone.
Incredible.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jeffrey James wishes.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, how do I get one of those condoms?
And I mean, it's only like, I wish that there was a way to have that instant relief for like the normal kind of tinnitus, but because it was because
it was the size of a hair.
Yeah, I was
Something was
hearing
the size of a hair.
Turbulent blood flow behind my ear.
Oh my God.
We were able to, nip that in the bud really fast. And now hopefully, the pressure in my head won't cause me to lose eyesight and all that kind of stuff. So that's good too.
You do seem more jovial.
I don't think it's any particular reason. Like, I don't think it's because of that.
Because you lived.
I've actually
almost
been
died
worse
and
in that
moved.
regard. Anywho, guys, let's take it all into off that happy, jolly note. Bond of the week. My bond of the week is Gavin Newbond. Because he actually audizzled for it recently, and people didn't even notice. Here's his tape. Let's roll it.
Yesterday, he did not rule out literally arresting you, nor Mayor Bass, if you interfere in his work. He said you hadn't yet.
He's a tough guy. Why doesn't he do that? He knows where to find me. But you know what? Let your hands off 4-year-old girls that are trying to get educated. Let your hands off these poor people who are just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes, been here 10 years. The fear, the horror. The hell is this guy?
See, what we would do if you were like in a Zoom audition, they would be like, "Oh, okay, Gavin. Let's do it again. You're stumbling a lot."
What do you think the F word was he was going to say?
I mean, none of us can say it. But it's the same word he used on Andrew Tate's podcast.
Is that true? He wasn't on.
No, he was on another
One of the other
conservative
alt-right guys.
The guy,
podcast.
Yeah, that's the
Spewing
thing with Gavin Newsom is
anti-trans
he
hate.
will say the thing you want him to say, but then he'll also send police to clear homeless encampments.
Yeah,
kind of like the
that's
next
accurate.
day. So
So
I
sort
just
of
want to be
another.
clear that we're not like endorsing like you
No,
playing
I'm
that.
not endorsing him even as governor. Forget president. I'm endorsing him as Bond. Let's give him something else to do. Clearly what he
You're
wants
right.
is
He'd
to
love
stand
that
there and be
shit.
like, the hell is this guy? Kidding me with that shit?
And he does it pretty well. It worked.
I mean, he needs some coaching for
I
sure.
don't see him as Bond. I see him as
Jack Reacher.
Yeah, I think he
Something
sees
more
himself
American.
more as Jack Reacher, but he seems like the kind of guy who wants to tell Bond that he's out of line.
Yeah, but maybe he's like the head of the CIA in the movie, and there's like a Bonds in America, which I don't think has ever happened in the series.
Oh, it's gonna happen now that it's an Amazon Prime original.
Right.
Yeah, imagine
He's gonna meet Jack Reacher.
Crossover.
that would be an awful crossover. Do you guys have Bonds of the Week? We got to keep it going. It's already been 12 minutes. We have so much to get to. We
Let's
really
do it.
do.
Oh, my Bond of the Week. This is crazy. Hear me out. But I'm going to say me. Because I was
Anya?
pitched this on my Instagram.
Sorry?
Oh, I was just.
He just
what, do you have a
wanted
Bond
to be
of the Week?
No. Who pitched you being Bond?
Because I posted a photo of me at the Tony Awards. I was wearing a little suit, and someone said, "Marika
You
Bondley."
just belittled yourself. I was wearing a little suit.
No, it is.
I was a small man. So because sorry, I don't want this to come across anyway, but I am just trying to get the facts straight. So because you were a seat filler at the Tonys,
Yes.
you want to be 007.
Yeah.
Okay.
I handled myself very well when
By
I
the
was
way-
there, surrounded by celebrities.
Yeah, huge turnaround from being overnighted in the hospital 2 weeks ago. Now you're suddenly on the fucking Tonys. I didn't
Yeah.
think you were a seat filler, by the way. I thought it was like some kind of like
I won.
yeah, like if you spend like a certain number of hours at like Mount Sinai, you get like sort of a
No, I
lottery.
thought you meant
entrance.
Make
I
a
thought you
wish.
meant at the theater. Like if you spend a certain amount of time rushing for seats, they're just like, why don't you just?
They should do that.
They
Yeah.
don't know about rush. Jeff and Casey are giving us looks like they don't know what that
I know
is.
what
a
Rush is,
little
but-
bit.
They don't get it.
I know. just
Marika
a
does
tiny
rush a little
amount.
bit differently. She just waits for the cast door to open, and she's like makes a beeline for it.
Which is a very Bond thing to do.
Yeah, there you go.
So you're right.
What celebrities did you sit next to or near?
I sat. So I got lucky, and I was sat ultimately away from the celebrities, but in a seat that no one ever came for. So I just kind of had a seat for the first half, and then
amazing.
afterwards, I was like, I'll play the game. I'll see what I can accomplish here, and then I
Really scary.
see if I can get on the broadcast. So I went to the front. First time, sat in Mia Farrow's seat. Actually, I probably shouldn't talk about this, knowing what happened to my friend recently. But
Wait.
I
I
Go on.
have a question about this process. So you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
sitting in a seat,
mhm.
and then it's not like someone tells you got to move. It's up to you to just look for empty seats and fill them.
No. I got lucky because I was told to sit in a seat that no one was coming for, but it was pretty far back in the orchestra. So I was like, let me see if I can
Let me
get
go
closer.
rogue. Let me go freelance, and I'm just gonna
but then
wander
they have
around.
no, but then they had captain, so I could go to the
Sure.
wings.
But
I
that's
could have
just
sat there
order
the
drinks.
entire time and chilled. But I went to the wings. I got in the little line. They sent me fourth. They called up for me. I got to the front of the line. They put me in Mia Farrow's seat. Mia Farrow was standing 3 feet away, turned around, was like, hello, that's my seat. I had to get up.
Yeah.
Went to the back of the line. Did
Well,
it
no,
again.
sorry. Don't blast through that. Tell them what you said to Mia. Basically, she
I
was
said-
like, "Don't you think it's time to forgive Woody?" And that's when you had to go up the seat.
She said that to me.
No, you said that to her.
Mia was like, he's not that bad of a guy.
And the highlight of my interactions, which were very few and far between, was that I was walking towards the front of the theater. Oprah got out of her seat. She had to go present an award.
Wow.
She graciously was like, all of these people can go before I head that way. So it was just a line of people being like, thank you to Oprah. And then I had to say thank you to Oprah.
Did you look under your seat?
No, but she did later on, and she did have gifts.
Of course.
Yeah.
I have to ask.
Mhm.
Can we get a temp check on that seat?
On what, Oprah's seat?
Was it like grossly warm?
I didn't sit down in it, but the girl behind me did. And she seemed to be loving it.
She
She was next to
seemed
Gail.
be loving it.
Gail got up for a second. She touched that girl's knee and was like, sort of like, I'll be back situation.
Illegal.
Like they instantly bonded.
Astronaut Gail?
Yeah, it could have been me.
Wow.
I was so close.
To getting touched by Gail King.
Yeah.
It's so funny that the story you have is that I could have been
I was sitting behind
touched
Nicole
by the
Scherzinger
person
for
that is close to
another
Oprah.
30
Friends with
seconds, and
Oprah,
then
yeah.
someone, pulled me back and was like, time to go.
Yeah.
How are they communicating this? Like
It was,
flagging?
it was
Kinda
like literally
harping on
the
this.
person whose seat it was had to go up to you and be like, that's my seat.
But
So
then
it was
to
like,
get you, how would they direct you to where to sit? They would tell you.
yeah, it was like these like captains that told you, but
You need an in-ear monitor.
I
kind of
agree.
thing.
And they should have been paying attention to the fact that like Mia Farrow was right by her seat. She didn't need a
Guys,
seat filler.
I don't want to interrupt. I just want to say thank you guys so much for agreeing to give me 2.5 hours of your time today. Because the pace we're going, that's how long
We
it's going to
haven't
take
seen
to get
each other in weeks.
Yeah, let's enjoy this.
Any other
Right.
bonds of
Anya.
the week, or can we go to only the second thing on my outline?
Go ahead.
Anya, Casey, you want to skip, pass? That's always an option. But
I think all of
Marika. I
you-
pick Marika.
I was going to say everyone should just choose themselves to be Bond, but that's very nice of you.
I don't want to be Bond. I don't want to work for any government.
sorry, do
Wow,
you think
Casey.
the British
Burn it
government
down.
has
the
been
merc with the
producing?
mouth.
It's word of the day. It's word of the day.
Jeff,
and the word
Jeff,
of the day.
you want to be
What's that?
Deadpool?
What's that?
Yeah, I'm kind of like Deadpool.
I'm almost never saying this, but can you turn yourself up?
Wow.
That
Holy
doesn't
shit.
mean the sound effects, Jeff.
Jeff,
Yeah.
just you, because you're getting drowned out.
All right,
The
the
word
sound
of the
effects
day-
are louder.
The
They
word
are
of the
louder.
day is slaxative. This is a constipation medication that gets things moving, but with enough of a biological heads up that you don't end up soiling your dockers.
I
It's
kind
a
of
it's a
I kind of
slacks
spaced
safe.
out as soon as you started
Yeah.
telling us the definition.
Okay.
Aren't you
next
guys
segment.
tired of laxative? Okay. Do you guys get it? I feel like you're not
Yeah.
reacting with joy because you don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't hear the definition, but slaxative. Yeah, like
Slax-
pants that
Casey, I
are
can explain
laxative.
it.
It's
I
a
can explain it.
slacks safe lax. So
Got
you
it.
take it, it's slower to absorb, so you don't end up soiling your dickies. Casey.
One
This is
time
a
I was-
word that you think people are going to use.
It's a word and a pitch for a product as
Okay.
well.
One time I was at a dinner with 6 to 7 men, and all of them had a story about pooping their pants at one time in their life. And they didn't believe me that I had never even come close. So I'd like to know kind of what this group, if we could do a quick little
I've never.
survey.
Never.
I did once technically, but it's because I got food poisoning in another country where their toilets were upright,
Versus
Just a urinal?
sitting down. It was like a chardonnal. I've never seen
word
anything.
of the day. Eagle sound.
All right, we do have to move on. Let's watch this video first, and then we'll kind of get.
Dashed a bottle of wine over
No,
her head,
no,
knocking
no.
her out.
This is
But
such a
wasn't
violent
just some random
episode.
attack. He was an author and had just published a book, and after reading it, the girl left a bad review. Instead of just ignoring it, he tracked her down through social media and traveled 500 miles just to find her. She was stacking shelves at a supermarket when he showed up and attacked her. He was arrested and sentenced to over 2 years in prison over one single book review.
I guess. Aren't we all a little afraid that this is going to be Casey in a few months once the movie comes out?
Over a letterbox review?
Correct.
No.
Wow, you think the movie's coming out in a few months?
Jeff thinks it's just a podcast episode, but like a little bit longer.
I thought it was coming out next Friday.
It's
No,
launching.
we're shooting more of the movie tonight.
What?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, sorry, you
It's
weren't.
called Pickups, Jeff.
I know it's
We didn't
pickups.
need
I
you
thought
for
that
these.
pickups was last Thursday.
No, this is pickups on pickups.
Ow. Casey, just take it as a cautionary tale. If you need me to send you the link to this, anytime you start to feel that rage boiling in your gut, don't let it reach your arms as you sort of smash
Drive
Sherry.
500 miles. Yeah.
Yeah, on top of a
Yeah,
woman's head.
you're scrambling like the AI algorithm's brain. They're studying you in a boardroom right now.
Warning
I'll give you a
signs your
little bit
body
of
needs
yeah,
iron.
here we go.
1. Craving ice or chalk. A weird but serious red flag for iron deficiency.
Marika, what?
Oh yeah,
crave
Get
it's-
another
chalk?
stent. You need another stent ASAP.
I wouldn't say I crave chalk, but I crave wintergreen mints, and I think there's a relation there that I can't prove.
I really thought Marika was going to crack up and be like, chalk? Craving chalk.
I eat ice a lot.
Ice,
you're
I
low in
get,
iron,
but
babe.
you're low in iron to crave chalk.
I know I am.
Honestly,
What was your
craving
doctor's
chalk
name?
isn't a bad episode title.
My doctor? I'm not gonna say that.
Get him
Yeah,
on
what the
show.
hell, Anya?
I'm not a Geoff. I'm not gonna shout out my Dr. Arthur Benjamin.
Benjamin, I was going to say. Yeah. Shout
Arthur
out
Benjamin.
Arthur Benjamin, by the way. We
Bond
do
of
have to
the
take a
week.
quick break,
He's been it before for sure.
and we'll be right back with a ton of great joy.
That was my Jeff impression. Was it good?
Yeah. I heard it.
And
through
we're
your
back. You know, it's
headphones.
kind of funny to me to even have a break because we never get any ads. And when we do, it's for drugs. So, anyway, we've never been more back. Guys, I want to write a classic novel, obviously, but I also, sometimes you need the funds. You know, you make one for them, you make one for you. Casey knows what I'm talking about. He just got the one for them out of the way. Now I can get to some real art after this. Chilight.
What?
Chilight.
I don't know what you said. And is the
Yeah, you
way you wipe your
drooled.
mouth a part of it?
Chilight is the name of a book franchise that I would like to write so that then I can write more heady shit.
Yeah.
This one's pretty simple for
And you think Stephanie
YA to
Meyer
understand.
went to writing more heady shit after Twilight?
Didn't quite keep up with Meyer. I didn't quite end up tracking her career, but I do have an idea for a series called Chilight.
Do you know that that's a band?
CHAILIGHT.
No, CHI
Right. So I don't. So I'm not interested then, because this is a book series. It's not a band. It's Chilight.
I know,
CHAIL.
I'm telling you, there's a band called the Chilights.
Those
That's
are the Chilights. The book series are the Chilights. Spelled different. Drop the. It's cleaner. This is a book for everyone who would have had a crush on Bella Swan if she had been just a little bit mixed race. In this version, Bella Non moves from sunny Arizona. Bella Non moves from sunny Arizona to Chutney, Bothell, Washington, where she meets Edward Patel, a handsome but Indian teenage vampire whose
Handsome
family.
but Indian.
What's that?
Casey, don't dwell on that one. We have to move it right along.
Whose family drinks chai instead of blood. Bella, more frightened by the idea of drinking chai than blood, nevertheless enters into the kind of romance that American media tends to avoid at all costs. The kind with two brown people in it.
Okay. So
I'm willing to hear any concerns or praise, yeah.
Casey and I are
why
both
is he
going
a
on mute.
why is
so-
he a vampire?
I love chai. I'll say that.
He's a vampire because people love that sort of eerie shit. They love zombies, vampires, werewolves. They love that kind of thing. If you
And-
drop that, they're not going to be interested because then it's only spice. Then it's
Right,
only
it's
chai.
only that she just falls in with another Indian family.
Correct. Yeah, well, she's not full Indian.
Oh right, yeah, she's mixed
But they
race.
aren't they don't drink blood. They drink chai.
Correct.
So
They're not vampires. They're just
that's
Yeah,
not a
what's the
vampire.
vampire
That's not
part
a,
of
yeah,
them?
no,
what
they
are
are
doing that's-
vampires. But they kind of are
also
like,
drink chai.
we shouldn't
don't-
be violent towards human beings. We should just drink chai instead.
So they're not
Got it.
vampires.
But then
So they have
suddenly
a
she's
thirst for
scared
blood.
by the flavors there. You know what I mean? She's like, it's a little spicy
Why would
for me.
she be scared?
Because she was raised by her white mom.
Got it.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Goes to live with her dad.
In
Sorry, you
Bothell.
said in chutney?
Sorry, yeah. But it was sort of an adjective.
Got it.
So
got it.
sunny Arizona to Chutney Bothell. Bothell's
I
like a
see.
predominantly Indian neighborhood
I
in
also
Seattle.
thought she was moving to Chutney.
No, it's a neighborhood in Seattle that has a lot of Indian people. So it's
Right.
I describe
So
it as
it's
a chutney
chutney-y.
neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, you're in or
no, well, I'm just like, there is this whole other part of the Twilight series with like indigenous tribes
Correct,
that are
yeah.
werewolves. So
well,
like,
that
what
plays
is-
into it. Because
Got
then you
it.
start to get into this interesting discussion over nomenclature of like Native American cultures and indigenous people to America being, some of them are okay being called Indian. Some of them take it as a slur almost. And so then it's sort of, which kind of Indian is Bella interested in?
This is interesting to the, I guess, teens
wait.
that want to read a vampire.
Hold on. I want to clarify something.
YA.
Yeah.
She was raised by a white mother, not an indigenous American mother. So the battle for her
But
is
her
not
great grandfather
okay. You didn't
had
say
an
that.
illicit
Let's say that.
affair with a Native woman. We sort of
What
get
does
into the
that have to do
discourse.
with anything?
Because she claims being part Tongva.
I thought she was.
It's a
So
lot of yeah.
Yeah, she's not biracial. She's multiracial.
She's mixed race, I said.
Okay.
The mix can be any number of fractions.
Yeah.
Can I tell you
Mostly
something
white.
so-
On the mom's side, with the exception of one sort of illicit affair. And then her dad is just brown as hell. How are
Casey's
you not
even
interested
smiling.
in this?
Casey's looking at somewhere else.
I'm just like thinking about the, all of the, I guess, the Patel family and the cafeteria. They're just all, instead of not just sitting there, not
Sure.
doing anything, they're just all drinking chai.
Housing
And,
chai, yeah.
That's pretty like normal, I think.
Okay,
That
well,
wouldn't, like-
would you buy this in the room if it was Mango Lassie instead? The problem is just then it's like, what's the title? Lassie
Right.
Light?
Well, if you did a different title, it wouldn't sound like the name of a band that already exists. That's unrelated.
Twilight.
You're the- That feels
Pretty
like you're
good.
putting your whole like Mango
Lassie into
Lussy
it.
into it.
Yeah. I have a crazy fact.
Let's hear it.
Do you want to know what Russian people call tea of all kinds?
Chai?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Why?
I'm not sure. I'm sure there's an etymological reason.
Now I know what you guys are wondering.
Geoff hated that.
What's the chai now of Chilight?
What's the chai now?
Why?
It's like the why
Okay.
now in a pitch, but it's
Got it.
chai
I see.
now.
I was going through all the
Let's
books
just-
like new chai,
right.
whatever Eclipse would be, breaking chai.
I think the chai now is the Indian versus Indian. I think you actually kind of accidentally struck gold with her, even though you didn't really think of that from the start and you made it up kind of during the pitch.
But
I
it
actually think that's where
sounded
the
like I
story
had
is.
it the whole time. That's the
For
genius
sure.
of me.
I
That's
have
the
I have a question.
genius of me. What?
What's the chai na of this pitch?
Casey.
Casey.
Don't bring me
We
into
got
this.
there really, really good.
Are you
Um,
editing the outline? Should have had China from the start, I think.
Casey, you've barely spoken. I think we can kind of address it head on. Are you tired post shoot or are you embarrassed because of your onset blow up? I kind of wanted to kind of talk about that.
I was
today.
trying to be a respectful white man and stay out of this conversation.
I think
I wasn't going to speak on things I'm not qualified to speak on.
Okay.
The Twilight series.
The Twilight
That
series.
kind of is none of your business.
Yeah. Have
I
you
was
watched the
mostly
Twilight
just
movies,
thinking about-
Casey?
I saw the first one. It was not for me. The baseball scene is not how baseball is played.
Or how movies are shot, to be honest.
Or how movies are shot. No, I mean, I was just really racking my mind around like, okay, so Chilight, but they are all vampires, but it's just like not addressed at all. And
we have moved on from
It's
Chilight.
because they're not vampires.
We've moved
they only
on
drink
from
chocolate.
Chilight
This is
and
so
don't try to
interesting
change
to
the
me, though.
subject.
Okay, then what do you want from me?
I have a clip I wanted to see, and you're clearly trying to change the subject, so I don't know if you've reckoned with what happened, but we can talk about it. On day 8 of the shoot, Casey blew up on set. I was recording. I have the audio right here. And I just kind of want to play it so people can kind of see who the real Casey is. And then maybe you can have a chance to apologize.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I also can't wait.
Okay, here we go.
Now you're just totally overdoing it. It's like, no way. I mean, I'm lucky. Like, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I get paid to be an actor, and I can't even fucking do this. I'm lucky, you know? I mean, so just put that all in there and then just say it. Because you are, all right?
You can't pass off blame.
I understand you're trying. You're maybe trying too hard or you're not trying hard enough. I don't know what the fucking problem is. But let's go. It's fucking 5 lines, man. Okay. Well, maybe you give me a line reading. I don't want to give you a line reading. If I wanted to give you a line reading, I'd just fucking get in front of the camera and do it.
Classic Casey.
So that was me to you?
Yep.
Did you even have 5 lines in a row?
That was actually going to be the first thing I said. It's not my fault. It's only 5 lines. I could have done 40 in a row. This is not... Casey wasn't just speaking to me in this fashion. You were yelling at Emily like that.
Mm-hmm.
You tabletop Jack with the DP. You got on all 4s right behind his knees, and then the DP shoved him down to the ground.
I was like, wait.
And Father Gallo, by the way, played by James Urbaniak. Huge get.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Huge.
You punched him in the eye at the rap party. What do you have to say
Which
for
sucks
yourself?
for our pickups tonight.
You weren't at the rap party.
Yeah, he was unexpectedly out of town.
Interesting.
I had texted with him just the night before, kind of checking in on him, making sure he was good, excited to see him the next night.
As
I'm
a great producer
unexpectedly
would do.
out of town. Thanks for having me.
Geoff wasn't
in
at
your
the
movie,
rap.
no
I think
audition.
Welcome to a segment I like to call Taking Callers. The way I had to explain podcasting to my dad for so many years was it's recorded radio. What do they do on radio shows? People call in. They take the calls. They talk. No one calls us. No one calls me. But we can call others. And that's what we're going to do. Let's start with Micah. So
he's not going to hear
Micah,
us.
I'm not here right now. Leave me a message and I'll call you back.
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna pick up.
all right, let's call Jake.
Hey, it's Jake. Leave a message.
Straight to voicemail.
Blocked.
Yeah. That's harsh.
That one obviously
harsh.
hurts.
And he's not even going to try, Amir, because if the same thing happens,
Humiliating.
it's
It's obviously
humiliating.
humiliating, but here we go.
No, Amir might pick up. But how's he going to hear us? We're not allowed to talk to him?
He won't hear us.
I unplugged my headphones so he can hear.
Oh, that's nice. He's still not picking up.
Hey, I'm not here right now, so leave a message.
Oh my God.
Wow.
This is humiliating.
This is really fun.
People
Keep
hate the
going.
shit out of me.
Who else?
who else?
Should we all try to call them and see what happens?
I guess I'll try Miles Bonsignore.
He just had a baby. Do not call him.
Isn't that kind of the perfect time?
He's like at the hospital.
Hello.
Oh, we got him. Miles, you're on the Headgum podcast. We're doing a segment called Taking Callers. You really saved my ass here, man, because I called like 4 people and they all sent me to voicemail. So,
Hey, man. My second son was just born.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, sort of 48 hours ago. So I'm sort of taking this call just to make sure you weren't in a car accident.
Is Sarah okay?
Yeah. Oh, Sarah's wonderful. She did great. She pushed that thing out of her vag.
Not how you're supposed to talk about childbirth.
And my son was sort of born, the heir to my throne. I guess the second heir.
That's amazing. Yeah, he's not the heir to your throne unless something happens to Julian,
Congrats,
which nothing ever
Miles.
will. So.
Julian, well, it sort of is like if Julian is a Joffrey of sorts, Game of Thrones. Am I right? Do you guys remember
He was king.
When
Joffrey was king. So that
Joffrey was king, but he was a
Julian
bad
would
guy.
still be king. Yeah,
He was a
it's
bad
just,
guy. It was
you know,
the moral of the sort of third season.
So don't wish that on Julian, right?
Yeah, I guess I would. Yeah, well, I don't want him to be evil enough that he sort of gets poisoned by the leader of another land.
Name? Do you have a name? I feel like now's the perfect time to announce it.
So you think that? So you've called me here.
Sure.
I'm in the middle of wrapping a present for my first son.
Of
So
course.
he thinks it's from the baby. And I'm in the middle of doing this. I'm wrapping it so that way when he comes home from preschool, he says, "Oh my God, I have a present from the baby." He gets psyched. And now I'm all of a sudden I'm being lambasted on the Headgum podcast.
Not lambasted, just maybe send a photo of the little tyke so we can kind of debut his face online.
Which I've been blacklisted from. I've been blacklisted from the Headgum podcast ever
Sure.
since what? I go on and I poke fun of at one of your side hustles.
I gotta go. I do have to go. Mazel.
No, let me finish.
Sure.
I want to say, shout out to the Sydney Sweeney Bye.
No way.
Yeah.
Once
Oh,
again,
yeah.
I just think you did a really good job on that.
We do have to go because I fear what you're going to say next. But congratulations to Sarah. Congratulations to Julian. And congratulations to the newborn.
Hey, thank you so much.
Congrats, Miles. We told
Not
you
so much the lingering
we
kisses.
were
And we said
in
you
the
we said you were on
hospital.
paternity leave, and this is rude.
That really scared the shit out of me. To not have anyone
Yeah.
Pick up
you
would be
needed the win.
indicative of where I'm at.
It's
Kinda huge.
incredible that he stayed on the phone for as long as he did.
calling Riley.
She's in Fiji.
She in Fiji?
right?
Yeah, but what's the
She's
time
probably
difference?
like
40, 30 hours?
We don't know what date is there.
Is she shooting the Mike White season right now?
It's only 10 a.m. there.
I think so.
Sure, she can't tell us, so don't ask.
Hello?
Did I just wake you up?
Yeah, you're good. What's up?
I'm so sorry. I thought it was 10
Okay,
a.m.
yeah,
there.
It is. What's up? What's up?
But what are your normal sleeping hours if it's 10 a.m. there and I just woke you up?
No, I said it's my first. I have a day off. So that's why I slept in.
You're on the Headgum podcast. We're doing a segment called make. Well, actually, it'd be better to call it making callers, but it was originally taking callers.
Am I actually on?
I mean, we
Yeah.
can cut this if you want me to, but you technically are on with Anya, Casey, and Marika.
I thought someone had died.
So far, most people have not picked up for me. Miles picked up, even though his wife just gave birth, and now I woke you up, and you thought that something horrible had happened.
Because when was the last time you called me?
Over the phone, yeah. It's been months, probably.
I thought someone had passed away. And also,
Who did your...
pick
I
up
hate
and
to
you
even
go-
ask, because
and
I
you
hate this...
go-
Yeah.
You go, no, I'm not going to. You go, I'm so sorry. And I thought it was like, I saw the news. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It was just that from your voice and the tone and timbre, I knew immediately you had just woke up. Who... I have to
because
ask...
I work.
Yeah.
is because I work 19-hour days, right?
Yeah.
And so
So when did you go to bed?
I just had a 6-day shift where I'm going to bed at 10, waking up at 3. And so finally I have a day off.
Yeah, I was gonna say day off.
Yeah.
Well, how late were you going to sleep in?
Probably till noon.
So
another 2 hours. I can go back to bed.
Okay.
Easy as pie.
That's good. Who I don't even want to put energy towards this.
No,
But I do have
doing
to
that.
ask. Who did your mind go to? When you thought someone had been no more. You can say Marty.
I want to know too. We'll bleep it.
You know what's crazy? Holy shit. I had oh my God.
No way.
I had a dream that Marty, Jake, and Amir were making a feature film set in like Utah or something. This is actually wild. And
So just everything you've ever experienced put into one dream. Utah.
The LA Times did an article about it, and you were on a horse in it, but the horse was on its side. And I thought, that's a dangerous stunt.
Sorry. A horse was laying on its side and I was on it. That means the horse's full weight is on my right leg.
Yes, and I was part of the film. And I thought, that's kind of dangerous.
Well, at least with Marty at the helm, you know it's going to be safe.
I thought you were going to say that Marty, Jake, and Amir were shooting a feature film and one of them shot the other.
And that's what Geoff is calling about.
Yeah, sort of a Rust
No,
situation.
it's wild that you called because I had a Headgum-esque dream.
Well, you know that
That
you can't
you
spell
woke me up from.
you can't spell trust without Rust.
Let Riley go to sleep, please.
Yeah.
Good night.
I'm gonna go. Right?
Good night, Riley.
Yeah, you
We're
should try and get
sorry.
another 2 or 3 hours of sleep. Namaste and apologies once again.
Sorry, Riley.
I love
we
you
couldn't
all.
stop.
Love y'all.
him.
I just said
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, goodbye.
Sorry.
Anyone else's day you want to ruin, or that's enough?
Allie. Let's make her day that much worse.
Who?
Allie Khan.
Hello?
Allie, you're on the Headgum podcast with Marika, Anya. By the way, one ring. We're really learning who my friends are. You're on the Headgum podcast. We're making callers.
What?
I'm calling people.
I won?
You won a call from us.
Wow.
People you talk to every day.
Well, I've nothing wrong with that. Most people that call me, I talk to every day.
That's nice. Casey, do you have anything to say to Khan?
Congrats, Allie. I don't know if you can hear me over there because Geoff's just holding a phone up to his microphone, but congrats on making it this far in the contest.
Oh my God.
There's no contest. Casey. He's kind of adding this contest element, of which there is
You
none.
should bring a big check to Miles, Riley, and Allie's door.
Yeah.
Allie's asking if there's a t-shirt. I guess now we'll have to make a shirt.
You're making a shirt.
You called, I answered.
She's getting angry.
Shirt's not a bad idea. I picked up the phone when Jeffrey called on the Headgum podcast.
Cool to put on a shirt.
We will make a custom shirt for you and present it to you on an upcoming episode. Do you want to plug your Twitch?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can follow me or subscribe at Gluing Shit on Paper on Twitch. And I make collages on the air, baby.
Incredible.
Really
All right, we'll cut you loose.
Really good.
Sweet. Oh, okay.
But namaste.
All right. Well, I guess talk to you guys later.
More than later.
Bye, Allie.
Every day. All right.
Okay, bye.
A real friend she is. Let's do one more call, and then we'll go into our final segment.
Katie Moose?
Zach Dunn.
Katie Moose would be funnier.
Hey, this is Zach Dunn. Leave a message.
So.
You got to send T-shirts to the people who didn't answer also.
And a different T-shirt. I
I
didn't
turned
pick up
down
the
the
phone.
call.
Yeah. I screened Geoff's number on the Headgum podcast.
You could do a T-shirt that's like a fill in the blank and then write in like I picked up or I didn't pick up. Jeff's call.
Casey.
Yeah.
Back to the movie. He wore a custom hat. It was green with pink text.
Is this Blue Velvet?
Is it what?
Are you trying to sing to the tune of Blue Velvet?
This is a segment I like to call, so you know Night Blooming Jasmine?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
This is Day Blooming Trash Can, aka Critiquing Casey.
This is a reference to something Geoff and I talked about in text, by the way.
So Casey, for the audience and for Casey, anyone who's donated to the Kickstarter, you were giving these nightly updates on how the shoot was going, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, and you can't play those here. Those are exclusively for Kickstarter supporters. So if you start playing clips from that here publicly, I will sue you.
Plugs. What do you guys have going on? What do you want to point the people towards? It's kind of interesting that we made it this far without Casey losing his cool once again, just like he did on day 8.
I got like a bunch of nice letters from my crew telling me how great of a job I did, and almost every actor except for you, Geoff, told me that I'm an incredible director and I'm great to communicate with, and I have a really strong vision and I know what I'm looking for. You didn't say anything like that to me.
I was gonna give you a pair of glasses and then snap them in front of you and say, you don't need these because you have the vision. But I was suddenly out of town.
Yeah.
Plugs. Marika, what do you have going on? What do you want to point the people towards?
Fucking nothing, man.
Anya, what do you got? Now that the movie's over, what's your identity?
It's not over.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's not over until it's over.
It's not over until a couple months from now when Geoff thinks the movie will be ready for people to see.
It'll
don't have
be
any plugs.
done.
I
It
will
just won't
soon.
be out.
I will soon. You
Casey,
can still donate to the Kickstarter and you can get a ticket to the live stream,
Yeah.
which will be good. Geoff's in it. He made me take a photo with him that I later learned our intimacy coordinator asked us not to do.
Well, because Casey put me in a fucking banana hammock, and that wasn't even for the shoot.
So
he said, "Hey, in between shots in this diner where you're normally clothed, can you take your jeans off to reveal the banana
Imagine
hammock?"
Geoff on a press tour.
I shiver at the thought. Yeah.
I did. When Marshmallow came out, there were journalists for some reason at the red carpet, and they were for these very obscure publications. For example, one of them was for a roller coaster online magazine. And so they asked me all these questions, and that roller coaster magazine, part of it was roller coasters, and then another question they asked was phrased that like this. They were like, "This movie's based off of a camp story. Camp stories are often like playing on people's fears, but they're ultimately not true. How can you how do we know what facts to trust in this, political climate?" And I was like, I'm fucking sorry.
It's like the New York mayoral debate.
Yeah, and then I just panicked. So I was like, well, Pearson Faudet, one of the lead actors, he can answer that question for you. And then he said something about well, you got to do your own research. And then after he said that, I was like, right. And what you'll do in post is just cut. You got to do your own research and then just kind of AI something in there about vaccines. and that guy was famous enough to have a PR person there, and the PR person was like. I'm just a nightmare to them.
That's really funny. And you won't be invited to our premiere. You'll be unexpectedly out of town, I'm sure.
No, I think it'll give you good press.
We'll go viral for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
All the right viral, all the wrong reasons.
We should do a reveal of the photo you made us take on set.
We were singing.
We should do a reveal of the We'll talk about it later. Reveal of the photo that I wasn't allowed to take on set that you made us take.
Maybe.
I also have that beautiful video of you reading in the like holding area and brushing through your hair.
That beautiful video? That wasn't revealed to me.
I sent it to you.
You're a walking lawsuit.
That was a Headgum original.